Good morning. Today's the 7th of July 2023, Friday, and this is my trade plan for the day. We're currently looking at let's look at the news first for today. So today we've just had some news break at 8:30. We've got more news at 10:30, which is low importance, and 1 o'clock. So if you're in an oil stock, so just keep an eye on whether that affects your trade. 10:30 and 11. But the main news drop came in today, which is higher importance, and non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. And that, let's look at the 5-minute chart. And that is the reason why I don't do my levels until after 8:30. If you look here, we were just plodding away sideways all day, and then we had the news come in at 8:30, massive big spike up, and then a big sell-off. And it was originally looking bullish, which I was expecting it to make a move back up today, but now it's looking more, I would say, bearish neutral, because we've broken below this area here, which is the pre-market consolidation. But I'm going to go in today with both a neutral bias because what I'll be looking for is either to play the direction what it's going in today. For example, let's go back into the 60-minute. So this is the MES chart, or the ES chart. They're the same chart, but this is the 60-minute time frame. So today we can see we had this sell-off down here yesterday, and it pulled back, and I'll be honest with you, it looked like it was going to reverse, and it started to do that in the post-market yesterday, and I thought it was going to come back down here and maybe just flag for a bit before making another breakdown. But this could be start of the flag we're seeing. But this morning when I looked at it, I saw increased volume here for the buy-in, but then thinking about it was decreasing volume for this area here. But pre-market volume is not really that relevant. But we can see then it couldn't break this high, so now I'm looking more bearish, but possibly neutral bearish today. So what I'm watching, the levels I'm going to be watching will be 44.66, this area here, and you can see we had an area of support when these candles came down, and we had a bit of support here, and it tested, we had a break and retest of that area yesterday before we had that big sell-off. And today, if we can pull back up, then the break and retest of this level will still be on again. It's kind of something I was watching for yesterday, and there was a small micro test in the pre-market and I missed it, and it would have been a great move down, but it doesn't matter because we might have it again today. So if we get up to 44.60, I will be layering into this trade. I will be taking one on the entry, one on the top of this zone I've defined, and another start position on the exit. So then I'll be looking for an add, so probably a breakdown and retest for the move down. So that's my play for that level. If we see market strength, I may watch for a break and retest long, and so 44.66 to 44.68 is an area I'll be watching for with a neutral bias. If we do see a big rally, then we've got this area up here, which is a big area of volume, as you can see from this indicator. So that creates its own natural resistance area, and we can see that orange button. We can see that orange line at the top as well. This orange line here, that's the point of control. So that's showing me that the highest volume on the last 2 days is in this region. So we've got our natural resistance up here at 44.84. So I'll be watching that area, and again I'll be treating that as a bounce area, and this will be a full play, not a high risk play. So I'll be using a full size. I'll be using the entry of the zone, maybe middle of the zone, and the point of control, that area of high volume, as my layers to get into the trade, and then as I exit the zone, another contract there, and look for an add to come back down. So that's kind of what I'm looking for: touch, break, retest, and down. On the flip side, if we are watching for a bounce, so these are my two rejection areas. I was originally looking at this area as a very high risk rejection area, and the pre-market has already touched that area and rejected it, so I'm not going to watch that now. But I will keep an eye. If I see something setting up on the 5-minute chart, then possibly I may watch for a small scalp. And same for this trade here. If we break down below here, I may look for a break and retest. So I will keep an eye on these areas. I've got these as higher risk, so I've marked it higher risk. These are my higher risk trades. So these will be smaller position sizes, and probably wouldn't layer in. I'll probably just pick an area, and if it gets to it, breaks it, retests it, then I'll get in. But if it breaks down, it doesn't quite pull up to the area and goes, then I won't, and I'll just wait. So being patient's the key. So on the bounce side, I'm watching this area here, which is 44.18, 44.19 area for a bounce, and that'd be a nice double bottom. And then my target would be this area here, which happens to be this area of higher volume from yesterday and the pre-market today. If we see even more weakness, let's just zoom out a bit, then I've got another level which is 44.10. It's been on my radar for some time now, and even 4400. So these are the areas I'm watching. So on the MES for a bounce, I'm watching 44.18, 44.10 and 4400. And for the rejection, 44.66 and 44.80 up to 44.89. So these are the areas I'm watching. Okay, so moving over to the SPY, similar trades as yesterday's, or similar levels to what we just discussed, and similar levels to yesterday. We're taking note of the point of control, which happens to be smack down in the middle of the chart. So this may act as a natural area of support, so we could see it come back down and bounce off of that. So my first level on SPY is also a good area of convergence as well. So we've got the tops of these candles converge with the bottoms of these candles, and we've got the tops of these candles, the bottoms of those candles, the tops of these candles, tops, bottoms, and bottoms. So it's a good area. This is a good daily and hourly area to watch. So I'll be watching 437 for a bounce on SPY. If we break down, I'll be looking for a retest and a break back down again. And so if we don't get a bounce and it's weak and we go straight through, I'm looking for a bounce and retest at 437. Bearing in mind we've got another area at 435, which is it's got relative high volume in that area, but it's a good area of convergence. So we've got candles converging there, the bottoms of these candles, the bottom of these candles, the tops of these candles, and the bottoms of these candles. So I'll be looking for a bounce at 435, and if we see even more weakness, and 432 is an area, this area here, which is the tops of those candles. So in the SPY, I'm watching for bounces. I'm watching 432, 435 area, and the 437. And for rejections, 44.50, probably this area here. So it'll be 44.10, 441.10 to 442 area. And obviously we've got this 445 area for major rejection area. So today, if the SPY hits this area, I'll be watching for a bounce. If we grind up to this area, and when I say grind up, and we see lots and lots of small candles, and it takes some time to get there, then it's likely going to push through this area, which I found every time I try short in a grind up day, I lose. And so I'm trying to get better on these grind up days. So lots of small candles. I'm going to be very, very careful. If I do go for a bounce, keep my stop tight. And then if it is grinding up, I'll be looking for it to break through, come back down, and go back off again and continue grinding. So that's what I'm watching for. And the same, I haven't seen many grind down days, so I don't really know how to handle them as well. But if we see it grinding down and then it just grinds sideways for a bit. I'll probably be looking for a rejection down here because it's correcting itself over time, and if it wanted to bounce it would have done so. Also watching volumes key. In fact, if you look right now, we've got this big sell off here on the SPY, and we've got decreasing volume. So I'll take the average. I'm ignoring that volume bar for now because I'm just looking at the average. So that's showing weak. That's showing that this pullback after this decline is actually weak, and that's why I think we might see another leg down today or Monday. You can see that elsewhere on the charts as well. In fact, just before we had that sell-off, we had steady increase in volume and then the big volume peak, and that was this sell-off here. So I think this chart is indicating that we want to move, make it especially retest 437 area again, and that's what I'm watching for a bounce. And then 435, these will be full size positions if I get to them. I'll probably be watching it using the MES or the ES, and I may just use ES to get in, but both charts are equally valid. There's one more I noticed today as well, the Qs, which took my attention because we've got this top here, and maybe if we come back up to 372 again, then it might be worth buying some puts, maybe holding them over the weekend for the bounce back down. So I will keep a close eye on Qs as well today. I don't usually trade Qs. I've noticed over the last few days Qs have been much more volatile than compared to SPY, so maybe it's something worth keeping an eye on as well, trading them both. Anyway, that's my plan for today. I will get all this into the Discord channel, and if you follow us on Discord, then all my levels will be there for you. Have a good day, and I'll speak to some of you today. Take care.